The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. Taking it about the 1. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. They'll start out here with a jet sweep. And, whoa, he's going to hope that that is not a sign of things to come. A rude welcoming to this ball game. Second and 14. First carry here for Kenneth Walker III. And he's able to break out of one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Only a yard on the gain there, and that'll set up 3rd and 13.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature in the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
And this opening drive not going to plan. This is now 3rd and 13. Back to throw here. He'll find Metcalf. And able to get this across the 20 before going. On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. Fielded at the 20. A good head-down running on the return gets about 15 yards. And the Bengals take over 1st and 10. To throw, Huntley. Man open, that's Jamar Chase complete. Finding room at midfield. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
I don't care who you put on him, he's going to be a handful of one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
And he is going to lose yardage here. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. The Bengals at 500 at 6 and 6. And they come in losers of 2 straight, so trying to turn things around here.
And you just mentioned 2 straight, and when you're talking about 2 games, that's nothing to panic about. They feel like they've been a little bit unlucky in the last couple. This is a club that's more than capable of turning things around, and I expect them to play really well here.
Trying to get it to Chase, but it's intercepted. picked off by Jamal Adams. And the Seahawks are going to have it here at their own 32-yard line. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. On second down, it's Walker. And he'll get about 3 out of that, up to the 39-yard line.
A big part of a middle linebacker's job is being able to take on blocks and then go make plays. But the best ones, they have those big guys in front of them playing defensive line that hold blockers off of them and allow them to flow sideline to sideline and make the big hits.
Powers through him. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line. It's a pickup of 6. Well, after an interception, last thing you want to do is go 3 and out, give the ball right back. They avoided that.
Yeah, you definitely do not want to do that. I remember in college I played with a really big-time player on defense. We ended up getting an interception as we passed the offense coming out. He told him, if you don't take care of this football, you have to answer to me later. You definitely want to take care of it, pick up first downs.
And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
And, partner, they're locked in man coverage out left, and they end up running a crossing route. Rounded it a little bit more than a slant. And he's just going to angle himself towards the right side of the field, and that's very difficult for a defender. The shadow
rush coming, and he's taken down. Yannick Ngakoue make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. They were able to win last week despite him being sacked 4 times. They might need to tighten the reins a little bit, or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits and harassment in the pocket get to their quarterback. Got to stop that, give him clean lanes to throw the football in order to have a better chance to win again this week. This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
On third down, here's Walker. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
The Bengals drive about to get going. Their second drive here of the ballgame, Charles. Remember last time they threw the interception, but the defense held up. It bent a little but didn't break, only giving up the 3 points.
Yeah, obviously they left some points on the table there their last time out, but boy, they have to thank their defense for holding the opposition just 3 after they threw the pick. Their turn now, back out on the field, put together a good drive and get some points of their own.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. They'll set up the screen here to mix him. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down. Blake Gillikin on to punt here as he'll send this one away. Back deep for the Seahawks, Tyler Lockett. Taken from just outside the 30. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get them 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And in our experience, how much fun is it for coaches to know that they've got a kicker who can nail it from long distance? Now the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, you don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it, and he goes out and gets the job done for them. But I'm quite sure he would be content to just kick extra points from here on out.
Yeah, absolutely no question. I think his teammates would be okay with him just kicking the extra points as well. Sticking with Walker on second down. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
They go play action here on first down. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make 2nd down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. That time, multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6.
What a nice read and play by the defensive tackle. Never bought the play action fake. Went right for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 16. Out of the gun, Walker with it. A beautiful fake. And some room to maneuver. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. They get 15, but they still needed a little bit more. 4th down. Here's Michael Dixon now to punt. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And they come in losers of 2 straight. And remember, they've got the open date on their calendar next weekend, but you think it's vitally important, Charles, that they focus on the task at hand here?
Absolutely, because these players, they know what's coming up, and the difference between taking time off following a win versus doing so on a 3-game losing streak, that's absolutely huge, because they may come back if they lose this game to a facility, and there may be new faces in there and some teammates lost.
They're looking for Higgins, but it is intercepted. Picked off by Jamal Adams. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. But Charles, you can just see the frustration on the sideline. Safe to say that's not how they expected this series to go. The ball only went one way, and it was backward into their own end zone, courtesy of the pick 6.
And, Brandon, how often do we hear offenses tell us before a game they want to end every series with a kick, right? A punt, a PAT, or a field goal. In case of a defense, they wanted to end with a punt or a takeaway. And we saw the takeaway right there, and it turned out to be a takeaway that turned into 6 points.
And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. The Bengals drive about to get going. Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest, you get a chance to heal up and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done, because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
A gain of 3, 2nd down. Here's Huntley. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. The safety blitz staged to perfection that time as they sack him for a loss of 6. And not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first. And now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Returnable for Lockett. A terrific return. 30 yards all in all. And it'll be Seahawk football 1st and 10. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. The crowd maybe losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Setting up the screen here. This is Walker. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's 2nd down. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. On play action, they'll throw. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked off by Von Bell. And the Bengals are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line.
Well, it's not the first time we've seen him give one up here during his rookie season. And in this case, zone coverage forced him to stay. He's made some strides week to week in how he's handling the different type of coverages that he's seeing. But clearly, there's some growing still to do.
Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Back to Mixon on first down. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And he'll take this into the end zone for the Bengal TD. Joe Mixon with touchdown number 20 on the year. And the Bengals are back within a score. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And still plenty of time remaining here in the half, more than a minute. We'll see if they just want to protect that lead or try to add on to it.
Well, with as much time as is left on the clock.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by Leighton Vander Esch. And the Bengals are going to take possession of the football.
A tough adjustment to the NFL throughout his rookie season, and his problem with turnovers is only exacerbated by his early showing today. That's a couple for him here in this first half, and he's cleared the double-digit mark for the entire season.
Huntley to throw. He's got his big tight end. That's Hurst. He's got room at the 30. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Back to throw. Huntley. This goes out wide for Mixon. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. They'll give it to Mixon. And he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals. Joe Mixon with career touchdown number 91. He joins a group that includes Tony Dorsett and Isaac Bruce, among others. And the Bengals will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot. I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he's got room. And they work this well upfield across the 45. So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
Let's go now.
Sticking with Walker on second down. And he'll just keep 2 hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. They'll drop to throw. Try to lay one up deep. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And this will be down just inside the 30-yard line. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth ready for quarter number 3. The Bengals set to receive. They have the lead and the football to begin quarter number 3. This taken in at the goal line. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And despite the turnovers, Charles, and they had multiple in that first half, they still have. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. And the Seahawks are going to take possession of the football. Not the way you envision things to start out the 3rd quarter. 1 play and already a turnover.
It's interesting. You and I were talking with the coach, and he talked about how at halftime, as a play caller, he wanted to make sure he got a new script going for the second half, not just the one that he operated off of to start the game. Nowhere on that script did it have that result.
Walker now on 1st and 10. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
Hey, it's not the most spectacular play, but I think most teams will take that every single time for the first play of a drive. Begin the series with positive yardage and set yourself up for a very manageable second down.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. They'll look to throw. Targeting the end. And oh, he coughed it up, and the Bengals grab it. And this is taken into the end zone. A fumble recovery and a Cincinnati touchdown. This was a close game. They needed a little breathing room, or they got it right there on that return for a touchdown.
Yeah, we would say that this could be huge. Forget it. It was huge. Gave him a comfortable lead.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good, and that makes it a 21-10 game. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they have done themselves absolutely no favors to earn a win today in this one, Charles. The turnover woes continue. On that last drive, they had that fumble that led to a touchdown.
And Brandon, I would say they have a mission on this drive, and the bottom line is protect the football and just put together something that they can let the last drive go. Yeah, it was a bad play. They gave up points, but that doesn't mean it has to go that way the rest of this ball game. Do what you do best on offense and try and put the ball in the end zone yourself.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Up the middle they run. It's Walker. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They'll set up a throw. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he is going to have a Seahawks 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
Looking for Lockett, and he's got him working his way free across the middle. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
A couple of 1st downs right in succession, and this is an offense that can really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Left side here taken in by Metcalf. So he stopped for no gain, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders.
And another long drive from the offense, but the defense is denying them the end zone. Nothing to show for the last drive offensively. They can't come away empty-handed again.
A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. He'll look to throw. This one goes underneath to Walker, and he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
Myers' kick is good, but now there is a penalty marker on the field, so let's see what this is about. And that flag accepted. A lack of discipline defensively on 4th down, and now that leads to a 1st and 10. Straight ahead, Walker. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 65 yards rushing for him now in the ballgame.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Well, he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more. They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7. A nightmare on 3rd and goal. He sacked, and multiple players broke through the line to get him. That's number 4. Sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5. So the response to that touchdown on the other side to begin the 3rd quarter. Look, just 3 points, but still a response nonetheless.
You're exactly right about that because I think you needed to answer back with something, even though it's not 6. Just enough to send the message that says, hey, we're not going away.
The Bengals drive about to get going. This offense returning out there, and really, you remember the last drive, Charles, it was over before it even began. They threw the interception on the very first play.
And what that means is for all these guys, it's been a while since they've been out there going full speed, so they've got to get everyone back out there, run a couple of your go-to plays, make sure you get your offense oiled up a little bit. They've got to be able to start fast, but they've got to be efficient as well.
Especially the quarterback. Throwing on 1st down. Huntley. He completes it to Boyd. They find some open field here. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. 25 yards there on the catch and run. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. It's Mixon on the counter. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. If you can keep getting gains like that, Charles, with the lead here in the 4th quarter, I mean, keep running it, right?
No doubt about it, but what the offense coordinator has to do is understand they're going to continue to stack the line of scrimmage. What runs do you have in your arsenal that'll work against a stacked box and continue to move the ball?
And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down. He's had his eyes on 7,000 career rushing yards, and with that last effort, he has hit that mark. What a career.
And that is the number to focus in on, because oftentimes we talk about where do they rank all time. We're not there yet. He's not knocking on the top 10 or the top 20, but over 7,000 yards in a career, fantastic.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Again, it's Mixon. And he'll get about 5 here as he'll take this down inside the 20-yard line. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
And they'll get him down right around the 16. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down. McPherson's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So that's, CD, an important one here in the 4th quarter.
And that importance cannot be overstated. All eyes on both sidelines were staring that one down all the way. The significance is that they made it a 2-score game. Still lots of time left to go, but likely that was their goal at the start of the drive. Get 3 points, make it a 2-score game, and they were able to get it done.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And the complexion of this one has changed a fair amount. That last field goal made it a 2-score game, so they need to get points out of this drive relatively quickly. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. He'll drop to throw. Throwing into traffic there, and that's complete. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. Up the middle, here's Walker. And he's got some space here. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. So that's a really big play here in the 4th quarter. And don't look now, they're right back in this game.
Did it feel to you, as it did to me, that maybe they were a little bit soft in what they were lining up with on defense? Almost like they were protecting the lead rather than trying to make a play.
And now that lead, it's down to just 1 score. Here we go now as we get set for a big 2-point conversion. Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out, and the Bengals grab it.
Well, that 2-point attempt failed due to the fumble, but people can't see this, but you got a ball in your hands now, and you got the thing locked in pretty well. You got it covered up.
I love having a football in the booth. I always hang on to it. Makes me feel like I actually played back in my day.
Well, you probably could have. If you had run that play, you would not have fumbled. I can tell you that.
Maybe. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand new ball game. And now look at the situation. You've got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here or do you throw it?
I think you have that full conversation with your offensive unit, and you tell them, here's the situation. They've got all of their timeouts, so we are not going to play this conservatively. We've got to attack them. We've got to make them use those, gain the ground that we need in order to put this game away. If you think we're just going to run it 3 times and punt it, you got another thing coming.
Yeah, and by the way, also the 2-minute warning in play, so essentially 4 timeouts left.
They have to be aggressive here.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long.
70 Rangers.
Looking to throw. Huntley. And that will be incomplete.
As a corner, you have to be able to run with guys step for step downfield in man coverage and make up ground quickly in zone. You have to put yourself in position to make plays, just like that one we saw there.
They'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And the punt goes out of bounds. Where will they put it? They'll put it just inside the 45-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And you sense the tide turning. They scored, then their defense forced the punt, and now a chance to ultimately take the lead here late. It's Everson Griffin who made the tackle. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They come up on a second down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down the wire. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over it that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down. 3rd and long coming up defensively. You pressure the quarterback or drape ball over the passing lane?
Yes, that's exactly what you do. It's both because they're not mutually exclusive. They may have been at one time in football, but not anymore. You want to have that pressure. If you have a big-time pass rusher, send him after the quarterback, and then make sure you blanket the field.
It's a gain of 15, 1st down Seahawks.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. That'll give him 8 that time, and that'll bring up a 2nd down in just a couple. I tell you, it has not been his best day throwing the football. He really needs to piece something together here.
All will be forgiven if he leads them into the end zone.
Hand off here to Walker. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. They'll try for the first with Walker. And he will be very close to a 1st down. But we'll see the closed fist of the referee. And that means 4th down. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. They'll run for it. It's Walker. And this is going to be nowhere close. Needed some inches and ended up losing yardage. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Bengals will get the football back. The Bengals drive about to get going. And still 2 timeouts defensively, but even if they choose to use those, 3 kneel downs should be enough to get out of here with a victory.
And that's exactly what's being stated into the head coach's headset. Oftentimes they have a guy upstairs who monitors this at the end of the game. Little clock management 101.
And McPherson on for the extra point. And this one gives his guys a 12-point lead. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. What do you do here down like this in this situation? Do you maybe just pick something out of the playbook you haven't called in a while, or you call it? And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Ronald Darby. And the Bengals are going to take possession of the football. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ballgame.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think, okay, he's the guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
They put up their goal at the beginning of the season, and that was to win 7 games, and now they've accomplished that mission.
And